Hello, and welcome once again up to episode 76 now. Ha! That's a lot. Not too much more to go, but more important stuff for you today. Today, I want to talk about conservative ways of thinking. I am conservative in my ways of thinking. You already have a very solid grounding, I'm sure, in the ways that I think and in the beliefs and values that drive my life. And I want to talk about the importance of instilling in our children through their schooling about the importance of the great values of life and the pathways that lead to happiness and success and the living of a wonderful life. A wonderful life. Don't we all wish that for ourselves and for our loved ones and indeed for all of the world? Well, conservatism is not so much an ideology like liberalism, which is an ideology based on speculation, the speculations of utopian, wonderful statehood. Instead, it is a way of soberly addressing the human condition. It is a way of practically and effectively dealing with the ultimate purposes of life. Conservatism pours through the history of humanity's social and corporate relations and uses the resources of that empirical evidence in resolving problems. And certainly in planning for future successes. The conservative way of life is based on individualism. An individualism that secures and safeguards for us our God-given liberty of free will choice. Through the beneficence of free will choice, everyone is empowered to chart their own destiny. America is now engaged in a battle between two incompatible ideologies: individualism versus collectivism. Individualism is based on the idea that everyone should be at liberty to lead their life as they see fit. Collectivism, on the other hand, believes that the individual should always be subservient to the welfare of the collective, the whole of us. Collectivist systems of governance in practice have proven disastrous wherever they have been implemented. We must fight against this. We must not allow those evils to happen here. In that the collectivists seek to abrogate, to take away from us our God-given endowment of free will choice, collectivist ideologies are immoral and evil. They are not good for the individual or for society. The facts of history clearly demonstrate that governance rooted in individualism and free will choice is the finest form of governance. We conservatives have reason and the evidence of history on our side. We need to employ these resources to combat and defeat collectivism and its current incarnation as progressivism. Defeating this evil ideology is a must. The collapse of the whole moral and social structure of our civilization is at stake. If Marxism, progressivism, socialism, collectivism win, we all lose. Except, of course, those elites at the top who control everything and become powerful and wealthy in their positions. So sad. Although the emotional and sentimental allures from the left are seductively attractive, the falsehoods upon which they are based must be exposed if we are to save America from a descent into socialism and collectivism. By employing truth and reason and conservative humanitarian principles rooted in mercy, we can defeat collectivism and restore a living and hopeful faith in life to all Americans. Something that has been sorely lacking of late. Faith in life. It lacks for so many of us. The place we must begin in restoring America to the great principles of individualism and the great values of traditional morality is in our schools. Our schools must be redesigned to educate our children in the basics of life. Our children must be instructed in ways that cause them to adopt the ways of living that are necessary to their happiness and success. They must be encouraged to live courageously and employ the 7 cardinal virtues as they go about conducting their lives. They must be told that virtuous living is the royal road to both happiness and success. In addition to teaching our children to become good readers and writers and communicators, and instructing them about the power and usefulness of reason, they must also be instructed about the fundamental importance of virtue. The 7 cardinal virtues pave the pathways to success and happiness. They should be at the forefront of all schooling. Our children need to be taught that character development and life's great virtues are the essential ingredients in achieving success and happiness. We must instruct them in our wisdom traditions. These traditions help us in dealing with life and overcoming life's difficulties. Our schools must be compelled to continually remind its students that their life here on earth has purposes and ends. Most importantly, our children need a good and proper instruction about morality and virtue and the importance of accepting responsibility for their own lives. They must be made to know that choices have consequence, and planning for a successful life is necessary for success. Truly, they must also be encouraged to love this wonderful land of liberty, their great country, America. America, which offers them so very many opportunities for success. In order to honor and pledge loyalty to our great country, they must be made to recite the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of every day. They must be made to sing together a great patriotic American song at least once a week. I cite America the Beautiful as an excellent example of the type of song they should sing together. Engaging in these simple rites will bind our children together in loyalty to each other and their nation, and help truly to forge friendships among them. They must be told that courage and the virtues of persistence and discipline are a necessity on the pathway to success. They must be schooled into accepting responsibility for what they do. It is necessary to their integrity. They must be made aware of their duties to themselves, to their families, and to their communities. Being accountable and accepting responsibility is the surest avenue to living a dignified life and enjoying the benefits that dignity bestows. They must be guided into believing and accepting the truth that living one's life according to life's great values and principles is as necessary to happiness and success as is the love of one's own self. and one's own family. Yes, the love of self, the love of one's family, the love of life. That is at the heart of all, truly all, good schooling. Let's be well schooled. Let's well school our children. Doing so guarantees the ongoing greatness of our great and beloved country. Ha! I do. There I go again. I do so love America and liberty and our God-given rights protected for us by our great Bill of Rights. My. Our founders were geniuses, as is our Constitution. Well, good people, that's it for today. I hope you've taken some value from my message today. I'm sure that you have, if you're listening to me even now in episode 76. Goodbye for today. Speaking of love, I love you all.